I think if you are new to going into a successful business with your partner, you really need to ask yourself why.
Let's talk about some power couples who are doing the thing today that are high visibility and people that we vibe with, right? Like we've actually been in the same room with, we've worked with
We've
them,
coached
we
with,
follow
we've
them.
taken their courses. Yeah. So let's just call these folks out because these are incredible power couples to follow and watch.
I get to say the first one because I love Alex and Leila Hormozi. Alex is sort of my North Star when it comes to, sales, marketing, and closing deals.
Yeah, for sure. And I just want to say, use these power couples as an example to fire you up. That's not like we're saying, hey, go into business as these business models, but more as your research stage if you are, or if you just need a boost of, electrons for your body to like be fired up. We're just going to shout out some names of people that we've worked with or done their courses or have coached with privately or been in their masterminds. These are incredible couples. So yeah, kicking it off, Alex and Leila Hormozi, incredible power couple, co-founders of Gym Launch. They really revolutionized the fitness business industry with their marketing and operational strategies with their company acquisition.com.
And I secretly have this desire to create one of our businesses that Alex would look at and consider partnering with to take it to that next level. But we've got to get one of them that works without us to about that 5 million to 10 million range per year. So that's on my list over here.
If you're a listener and that vibrates with you, go check out Alex and Leila. But they're a power couple that the way they work together is, like all of us, is a little bit different, but they have their own strengths. And it's really quite interesting how they kind of weave that together and work together in their story. So go check them out if you're new to Alex and Leila. Definitely some folks to look into.
And we met Alex and Leila at an event. We were sitting in the front row, and I am embarrassed to say I had never heard of him before, but it's when he was coming up. And it was, do you want to share who was running that event?
Oh gosh, this ties into a next power couple. Sonia Cannell and Heather Torres were out there running the Growth Video Live.
Yeah, with Gary Vee. It was an incredible event in Las Vegas. And, we've spent time with Sean and his wife, Sonia. And Sonia spends sort of a lot of the time behind the scenes. They've got a family, a couple beautiful kids. But she is a powerhouse when it comes to getting stuff done. So Sean is obviously the person that's always in front of the camera and a lot of the strategy. But I don't think they would be where they're at today without Sonia.
For sure. Sean's known for his YouTube channel, Think Media, and video influencers. He collaborates, with his wife, Sonia, to provide the insights on leveraging how to create video content on YouTube for brands and businesses, really becoming a thought leader out there in that space, not just on YouTube, but as a thought leader you can believe and trust in. And we've worked with them privately and created a great friendship, and they are just wonderful people. So yeah, shout out to Sean and Sonia.
He teaches how to be successful on YouTube. So look up Think Media on YouTube to consume some of his great content. Who do we have next?
Oh my gosh. Tom and Lisa Bilyeu, my two faves, co-founders of Quest Nutrition originally and Impact Theory. They've really made waves in both the health industry and digital content space. Lisa's also known for her podcast, Women of Impact. Just both incredible people. And they too are power couples that do their life differently. And I love learning from Tom and the way he goes about it. And you kind of vibrate a lot with Tom, and I really vibrate with Lisa. I've been in her masterminds. It's incredible to see how those two work through their relationships and work together at the same time. And also how far they've come, because it didn't start off very easy for them. If you know their story or don't know their story, they really started off in a rough space to grow into who they are today. So it's constantly an evolution.
Yeah, sound familiar. I think we all started in some rough space, but it's interesting because Lisa really started behind the scenes and then decided, they collectively decided she was someone that should be in front of the camera teaching, right? And teaching how to have more confidence. And I think that's an awesome piece something that's really missing in a lot of people out there today. So,
I was just going to say, do you want to dive into our next two power couples?
Yeah, I'm just going to say, because this one's interesting. You never know who you're talking to, and we're in at Bent. It's a Brendan Burchard event. I think it was Influencer. And I'm talking to the girl in front of us, and, we're exchanging back and forth, just talking a little bit about what we're getting out of the event. And then Brendan comes on, he introduces this guest, and he says, she just separated and sold It Cosmetics to L'Oreal. And, the number was north of $1 billion, like 1.2, 1.3, something like that. And she's really not a public speaker. She's never been on my stage before. And then he introduces the girl that I was just talking to, right? And that was Jamie Kern Lima. But her and her husband, Paulo, if you don't know the story, created It Cosmetics over the kitchen table, where most of us, sit down and in some way, shape, or form mastermind, formulate what we're going to do together. And that's why couples are so powerful, right? Because business doesn't end, between the hours of 9 to 5. You're always working on ideas together. Like, we came up with some great ideas today, working out in our home gym at 6 o'clock this morning.
Amazing power couple. If you don't, check them out. Follow Jamie. She's always inspiring what she's doing and making waves in the industry with her new book and just her new life after she sold over to L'Oreal. So just incredible. And I'm sure they continue working through the evolution of their own entrepreneurship together as a couple. So,
and it's a good example of Jamie is more the front person, and Paulo's really behind the scenes, right? So the exact opposite of maybe Alex and Leila.
Yeah, and I want to mention our next power couple is Chalene and Brett Johnson. We had met Chalene at Marketing Impact Academy, I think. And I remember her originally introducing Brett, her husband, and he had not yet really come on the scenes in a social way. If you don't know who Chalene and Brett Johnson are, Chalene's a fitness expert and motivational speaker, really collaborates with Brett on a lot of projects, but she has the show called the Chalene Show podcast. And then also she's huge in the marketing space for the Marketing Impact Academy. She is definitely, she's been on Brendan's stage. We have kind of been with her for her journey for quite a while. And it's been really cool to see her collaboration with Brett as her whole timeline it just continues to unfold. Her journey unfolds in this adventure together with Brett and her husband and the stories that they share. It's really cool as she continues to share more and more authentic stories of how those guys are creating business and creating life together.
Yeah, so that's for sure. And Brett was primarily in the background for a long time. Now he has a course on financial fitness and does more and more online. And she sort of drags him into the social media space. But one thing like with all of these power couples, and it's true for Wendy and myself, and that is opposites seem to attract sometimes, right? And that's a good thing because you both have skill sets in different areas. And the more you work together, the more you sort of find this incredible middle ground with your skill sets. Like Wendy has me wearing makeup and has drugged me on camera, right? Not the thing that I'm the most comfortable doing, but it's what needs to be done. And that's really like the allure of combining love, creativity, and business together. Any thoughts on that, Wendy?
I do, because I think if you are new to going into a successful business with your partner, you really need to ask yourself why and be ready to tackle the challenges together. And this is what Dave and I get into on the nitty gritty is tackling the nuances means building the skill set to get through it, because it'll definitely kill the relationship and the business or one or the other if you don't have the skill set and the toolkit to get beyond the challenges that are going to creep up, because they're already going to be there. It's just like, it may be amazing. And then there's challenges right when you get started, or 2 years or 3 years or even 10 years you're into business and you're like, oh, we're at like a sticking point with our relationship or the project or the business. So I think it's important to always ask yourself, why are we doing this? What are we getting out of it? And are we moving in the right direction?
Absolutely. And it goes back to failure, doesn't it? Right? We almost jokingly fail our way forward because we learn so much in that skill building. Every time we do something, we go through the process and we get just a little bit better. And that sort of ties into, if you don't know what to do, begin with some research, right? And a lot of times that's where our inspiration comes from. So if you put on your research cap, how does this apply to me as you're scrolling through your feed, and don't think of it as just entertainment. You think of it as sort of a research project, and you start to catch what people are doing, how they work together, why their content works, and all of those sorts of things. You become inspired, and it creates, that atmosphere where you're not just the audience, but you're actually a business creator in research mode.
And I was going to say, I have a little different take on that. If you are thinking about going to business together and you know what the business is, let's say a cookie shop, go out and do the research, connect with those people. Or let's say, hey, I want to open a wine boutique tasting room. Start at the very beginning. Go learn about those. Go take some classes about it. Actually get in the space of being around it so that you can get the support you need to build that thing together. So it's important to do the research. And Dave's talking about an online research if you're into the content creation side. I'm talking about like even a local business or a hobby that you two want to get in business with or something. Make sure you go out and do the research and really look at what's working and maybe what's not, or try something totally different. But it's important at least to get started and not stay at like, oh, I wish I was going to do that. Or, oh my gosh, I've turned 35. I've got to hustle. I'm not loving what I'm doing. Or I'm now 45 and I've got to do something. I mean, I want to encourage you to please go all out and cut through the noise of the fear and doubt and jump into what is driving your intuition, because that's so important, and go out and do the research. So I love that. And I love following incredible couples that are making incredible waves out there. I've got to mention a couple that I'm following right now, Bree and Flo. You can go to their website. It's called breatheandflow.com, or their YouTube channel. They are a yoga power couple. And I love watching the way that they do their business together. They work together, how they create their content, what they have to offer. It's really cool. It's just someone, a new couple that I'm following, but check them out. It's inspiring, especially if you're into yoga. But yeah, we talked about if you don't know what to do. If you know what to do, it's time to craft the foundation together, David. And you know how important that is.
Yeah, for sure. And if you don't know what the foundation is, just start heading together in a direction and start doing it. And the pieces will fall into place as to how you work together. And you really need to craft your own foundation, right? So what we share in this podcast and with what we teach is the way our framework works for us. And if you can take anything away from that and apply it to what you're doing to create your foundation, like we would be successful, because that's our goal here.